Hello everyone, I am Thayang and we are reading Elementary Chinese Reader 2. Let us continue with lesson 33. In lesson 29, we studied the directional complements or those words that indicate direction in a sentence. In this lesson, we have a look at complement of time or those words that indicate duration of time in a sentence. First, let us consider the following examples. I slept for 4 hours. Here, sleep is the verb in this sentence and 4 hours, that is time complement. I slept for 4 hours in the train. Here, train is the object. The verb sleep is taking an object, that is train. Observe the position of verb and object in case there is an object in the sentence. I slept for 4 hours in the train. We did not say I slept in the train for 4 hours. I slept for 4 hours in the train. Moving on to the third sentence. I slept only for 4 hours in the train. Only is an adjective. Again, observe the placement of only. And finally, I graduated 4 years ago. There are certain sentences which are not continuous. The time duration is not continuous. They still take the complement of time. Graduated is one such event. For example, we say, I slept for 4 hours and I graduated 4 years ago. Sleeping is a continuous activity. Once it starts, it gets end and it is continuous. However, graduated is different from sleep. I slept for 4 hours and I graduated 4 years ago. Let us now move on to the box. Read the following sentences to understand how in Mandarin Chinese a complement of time is used. Let us read the first sentence. 我们坐飞机坐了2个小时. We sat in an aeroplane, sat for 2 hours. Notice here the verb sit is taking an object which is aeroplane. And aeroplane is repeated. 我坐飞机坐了2个小时. We sat in an aeroplane for 2 hours. Moving on to the second sentence. 他写了25张汉字. He wrote for 25 张 minutes. 汉字 Chinese characters. He wrote Chinese characters for 25 minutes. Moving on to the third sentence. 他毕业已经2年了. He graduated already for 2 years, or he has already graduated for 2 years. This is the usage of complement of time in Mandarin Chinese. Let us now move on to the substitution drills and have a look at the following sentences. 中午我12点3刻. Ke is quarter. 12 and 3 quarters, 12:45. In the afternoon, I from 12:45. 睡到 slept. 1点3刻. 1 and 3 quarters, 1:45. In the afternoon, I from 12:45 to 1:45 slept. 我睡了1个小时. I slept for 1 hour. Moving on to the next sentence, let us read out these two sentences or questions based on these sentences. 刚才 just now, 你睡了 you slept. 几个小时 what hours? Right now or just now you slept for what time? 刚才我睡了1个小时. Just now or right now I slept for 1 hour. Moving on to the box to make suitable replacements in these two parts. First for the verb and second for time. Let us read the words. 复习 review. 2 2. Right now you reviewed for what time? Right now I reviewed for 2 hours. 劳动 labor. 3 3. Right now just now you did labor for how many hours or what time? Just now I did labor for 3 hours. 工作 work. 4 4. Just now you worked for what time? Just now I worked for 4 hours. Tang, to wait. Pan, half. Right now you waited for what time? Just now or right now I waited for half an hour. Moving on to the second sentence, let us read out the following sentence. 比赛减轻了躲藏时间. The competition continued for what time? 比赛减轻了一个半钟头. 一个半 is 1.5 钟头 hour. The competition continued for 1.5 hour. Let us now move on to the box to make replacement to these words and make new sentences. Let us read out the following words. 代表大会 Delegates Conference. 一个星期 1 week. How long was conference held? Conference was held or carried on for 1 week. 一个星期讨论会 Discussion meeting. 一个上午 1 morning. 节日表演 Performance or performance program. 两个半钟头 2.5 hours. 两个半 2.5. 参观 visit. 三个钟头 3 hours. The visit carried on for what time? The visit carried on for 3 hours. Moving on to the next sentence. 你们坐飞机坐了多长时间? You sat in an aeroplane. Sat for what time? 我们坐飞机坐了4个小时. We sat in an aeroplane for 4 hours. Moving on to the words in the box to make replacement in these sentences and making new sentences. 火车 train. 24个小时 24 hours. 汽车3刻钟 3刻 is a quarter. 3 quarters钟 is an hour. 3 quarters of an hour or 45 minutes. You sat on a car for what time? We sat on a car for 45 minutes. 划船 Hua is to row and Chuan is boat. Row boat. What time or how long did you row boat? 一个半小时 for 1.5 hour. 开会 meeting or having a meeting. 两个小时 for 2 hours. How long did you have meeting? You had a meeting for 2 hours. Moving on to the fourth sentence, let us read out the sentence. 你念了多长时间课文? 课文 text, this is the object. 念 to read. How long did you read the text? 我念了25分钟课文. I read text for 25 minutes. Moving on to the words in the box to make suitable replacements. Let us read the following words. 写 to write. 汉字 Chinese character. 半个钟头 half an hour. Replace these words to make new sentence. How long did you wrote Chinese character? I wrote Chinese character for half an hour. Moving on to the next set of 3 words to make replacement. First for verb, second for object, and third for the time. That is the second line of answer. Let us read the following 3 words. 学 to study. 汉语 Chinese. 3个月 3 months. How long did you study Chinese? I studied Chinese for 3 months. 3个月. Moving on to the next set of 3 words to make replacement. 看 to see. 电视 television. 一个半钟头 1.5 hour. How long did you watch television? I watched television for 1.5 hour. Moving on to the next set of 3 words, let us read out the following words. 打 to play. 球 ball. 射 分钟 40 minutes. How long did you play with ball? I played ball for 40 minutes. Replace these words in the underlined parts to make new words. Moving on to the next set of sentences, let us read out the following sentences. 昨天的联系你做了多长时间? Yesterday's exercise you did for what time? 昨天的联系我做了1小时. Yesterday's exercise I did for 1 hour. Moving on to the box to make suitable replacements for the underlined words. 那本小说 that novel. 看 to see. 2天 2 days. How long did you read that novel? I read that novel for 2 days. Moving on to the second set of 3 words. Let us read out the words. 这些主词 These sentences. 翻译 translate. 40 40. 翻钟 minutes. These words, how long did you translate it? For how long, for how much time did you translate it? I translated these words for 40 minutes. 40翻钟 40 minutes. Moving on to the next 3 words. 那段录音 that section recorder. Thing to listen. 半个小时 half an hour. How long did you listen to that section recorder? I listened to that section recorder for half an hour. Let us now look at the next sentence and further the words in the box to make replacement. Let us first read the sentence. 他毕业已经差不多2年了. 毕业 is to graduate. 差不多 more or less. 2年 2 years. He has graduated for almost 2 years. 毕业 as we saw in the earlier part, this is a word which is not continuous. However, it could also take a time component. So he graduated almost 2 years ago. He slept for 4 hours and he graduated 4 years ago. So this is not a continuous event, but it still takes a time component. He graduated almost for about 2 years. Let us now read the words in the box to make replacement. 回国 return to the country. 来北京 come to Beijing. He has already come to Beijing for more or less 2 years. He has almost returned home for almost about 2 years. 去南方 Nanfang is south. Went south. It is almost 2 years that he went south. 去北方工作 go to north for work. It is almost 2 years that he went north for work. Let us now read the text of this lesson. 一方shin. Fang is the measure word for letters. Shin is a letter. So this is a letter we are about to read as text of lesson 33. Yang Zi Tong Shui. Yang Zi, this is the name of a person. Tong Shui, comrade. Comrade Yang Zi. Ni hao. Hello. 来中国以后 after coming to China. 没有 could not or did not. 立刻 at once. 给你写信 write a letter. Hello, comrade Yang Zi. After coming to China, could not give you immediately or could not write a letter immediately to you. 请原谅 please excuse or please forgive. 你最近忙不忙? Are you recently or are you these days busy? 身体好吗? Is your health good? 到中国已经3个月了. Arriving China, it's already 3 months. It's already 3 months that we arrived in China. 从东京到北京. Dongjing is Tokyo. From Tokyo 到北京 to Beijing. From Tokyo to Beijing. 我们坐飞机坐了 4个多小时. We sat on an aeroplane. Sat for more than 4 hours. Here, 多 indicates that it is more than 4 hours. 到了学校, arriving at the school. 没有立刻上课. 立刻 is at once. 上课, start class or attend class. Did not started attending class at once. On arriving at school, did not started attending class at once. 先休息了几天. 先 first, 休息 rest. 几天 several days. First rested for several days. 我们到北京有名. 我们 we 到 to reach or arrive. 有名 is famous. We went to Beijing's famous 广院. 广院 is a park. We went to Beijing's famous park. 玩了几次. 玩了 is to have fun or enjoy. 几次 several times. We went to famous parks in Beijing several times to have fun. 在颐和园 at 颐和园. 北海 河 and 天坛公园. At these parks, 颐和园, 北海 Park and 天坛. 在颐和园, 北海和天坛. At these parks, 颐和园, 颐和 Park, that is the name of a park. 北海, again name of a famous park. 天坛, so a park. 照了一些照片, 照了 to click. 一些 some 照片 pictures. At these parks we went to have fun and clicked some pictures. 现在寄给你几张. 现在 is right now. 给 to send. 寄给你几张, sending you several of them. So we clicked some pictures there and I'm sending you right now. I'm sending you some pictures. 最近我们学习比较紧张. 最近 is recently or these days. 紧张 is intense or a lot of work. So these days our study is intense or we are spending a lot of time in studying. 每天上午 every day morning. 上 to attend. Every day morning attend. 4节汉语课 for Chinese classes. So these days our study is comparatively intense or busy. Every day morning we attend 4 classes. 每节课50分钟. Every class is of 50 minutes. 50分钟. Every class is of 50 minutes. 中午休息1个小时. 中午 in the afternoon. 休息 to rest. 1个小时 1 hour. In the afternoon we rest for 1 hour. 下午有时候听录音. In the evening at times we listen to the record. 看录像. 录像 is video. Watch videos. So at times we watch video. 有时候有辅导. 辅导 is coaching. At times we have tutorials. 晚上要在宿舍. In the evening or in night at the dormitory. Need to or must. 复习3个钟头. 复习 is to review. 3个3钟头 hour. In the evening we must study for or must review or revise for 3 hours. 我们现在北京语言学院. I first at Beijing Language Institute. 学1年汉语. 1 year Chinese. At the Beijing Language Institute, first I studied 1 year Chinese. 以后 later 在 at 别的 other 大学 university 学习 study. 以后 later 在 other or at 去别的 go to other 大学 university 学习 study. First, I go to Beijing Language University for 1 year to study Chinese, then go to other university to study. 最近有什么新消息？最近 recently 有 to have 什么新 what new 消息 news recently what are the news or what are the latest from your side 学校有什么变化学校 in the school 什么 what 变化 change what changes are there in the school or what has changed in the school 请下次来信介绍一下请 please 下次 next 来信 coming later 介绍 introduce 一下 a bit please introduce a bit in the next letter or in your return letter 时间不早了时间 time 早 early 不早 not early or it's getting late it's not early it is getting late it's already late 我写到这儿 I write till here or I stop here 等着你的回信等着 is waiting 你的 your 回信 return letter waiting for your return letter 2 to wish 学习进步进步 is progressive wish that you use progress in your study 身体健康 your health remains good so wish you progress in your studies and your health remain good 你的朋友杨子 your friend 杨子 that is also a name 15th February 1 late or evening 2月15月215月 15th February evening this was elementary Chinese reader 2 lesson 33 where we studied about complement of time and their placement in a sentence